everybody. This is Jay, also known as the Devil's Advocate. Welcome back for the Outcast, the new podcast from AshleyOut.com and London Magpie Group. Today, we're going to be talking to a fan called Bryn, who was at both the Spurs and the recent Wolves game, and we'll reflect back on the season so far, some of the ups, some of the downs, and what's going on in future and going forward for Newcastle United and the London Magpie Group. How you doing, Bryn?
I'm fine, thanks.
Great to hear from you. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, that's my pleasure.
So we're going to start off by talking about the Spurs game. I'm basing a lot of this on an article from Jonathan Drape-Corman, who writes for The Mag, and the style he uses is positives and negatives about the game. The first of which he says, we could have won that game. What do you think about that, Bryn?
Yeah, I thought the performance was really good. You know, the Spurs, obviously being the home side, came onto us and applied a lot of pressure, but seemed to deal with it very well, I thought, and they looked very well organised. I couldn't really see a weak link in the team. Everybody played well, I thought, and we had decent chances ourselves, and we're very unfortunate, really, not to get something out of the game, I thought.
And Rondon hit the post, I believe, as well as Perez missing quite a good chance.
Yeah, he did, yeah, and then Perez was very unlucky, and I thought, I like Perez, I do. I think he takes a lot of unfair criticism, because I think he's one of our players who's got a trick, and he can, conjure up something special when it's needed. I really do like him, and I think his form's been very good in the last few games as well. He's somebody who has a role that Rafa instills into him, and he plays it to the letter. You know, he's always working hard across the pitch, and sometimes it's what they do off the ball. I think as well that's important players. You know, and he's obviously a key player for Rafa. And as I say, he can conjure something up as well, something special now. And he was unlucky not scoring that game, I thought, against Spurs. Yeah, it's good. And we saw the new fullback, he came on as well for a brief cameo, and he seemed...
Barreca.
He seemed, very lively and keen, but it was too short a time to really get a good opinion of him. I
suppose we're yet to see him being used more often.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we need a bigger squad. I think it's it's quite small, the squad is really, and when we can get our best 11 out, they're okay, I think. But as soon as you start having to dig deep and of course, I shouldn't miss the other gem of the game, who seems to be improving every game, is Longstaff. What a lad he's turning out to be. I think he's one of the first names on the team sheet now. He was excellent at Spurs, I thought. I've seen Sean now at that Chelsea game, at the Spurs game, and at the Wolves game, and I think he was one of the best players on the pitch. And that's against some real big international superstar names. He's just growing with confidence with every game he plays, and he looks to me to have everything. The lad's big and strong and powerful. He can mix it up. He can tackle. He covers a lot of ground. His passing range is good, whether short or long. He can do the tippy tappy stuff, and he can also get his head up and sweep a long range pass to put somebody in. I think. I mean, this is a real compliment. I've seen, I'm in my 60s, I've seen a lot of good midfield players, and I think we might have another Brian Robson on our hands there with Sean Longstaff. That's praise indeed. Hopefully he won't have the injury problems he had. Yeah, yeah, I like him. I think he's a great lad, and let's just hope we can keep him and build on him and not cash in on him like our owner seems to like to do when he's got somebody who's decent. Build a team around somebody like that rather than try and make a fast buck.
That seems a constant worry, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. We should get people like that and add into the squad, not use them to cash in on. As we've done for years and years now. As long as I can remember, we've always done that.
Yeah.
I remember Kevin Keegan saying that we're never going to be a nursery club for smaller clubs. That was one of the things that always stuck in my mind that King Kev said, and alas, it was abandoned when he left us, and it would have been nice to have seen that as a philosophy carried through.
It was his birthday this week, of course, and Valentine's Day, so we'll be glad to give him a mention. Happy birthday, Kev. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, well, John, he's only a youngster, so he's got his best years ahead of him, and he can only improve. And he seems to be getting better every game as his confidence builds, and he feels as though he belongs in the team now, and he does, certainly does.
We also have some quite senior players to come back, so do you think that's going to change the dynamic when Key, Shelby and Diarme come back into the fold as they are?
Well, you need more players. I mean, I remember when we played Manchester City a few weeks ago. We looked as though we'd got like a skeleton squad to put out, and I mean that was just the most unbelievably good result. But nobody expected it. But you've got to have a squad, to cover for injuries and things like that, because you're not always going to get results like that. We sort of booked the trend there in that game. But Key's a proven international player, and Shelby can be a match winner on his own as well when he's on form. But they're going to have to put some good performances in when they get the chance to keep young Longstaff out of the team now, because I would say he's one of the first names on the team sheet for me now.
Yes, it sounds like there's room for improvement, and it looks like the new signings will complement that. With Sean Longstaff, I suppose it remains to be seen whether he's seen as a prospect or a commodity. But that leads me on nicely to the next aspect of it. Do we, with recruitment, do we rely too much on certain players? And one that was highlighted in the article is Solomon Rondon. So the idea being, if we lose Rondon, it's a significant impact. Do we rely on him too much?
Well, he's an excellent front man. He's got the plan B is always there when you've got him. I think if you're struggling to get out and you need to play a long ball forward, he's a superb target man. He'll win the ball for you and hold it up, and bring players in. What I like about Rondon is he's a great, big, powerful lad in the old-fashioned sense. You can just knock a ball up to him and he'll hold it up and bring other players into the game and that, which sometimes when you're really under the cosh, it helps to be able to have that option. And he can play as well. He's got a good touch and he can use the ball well. You need again, it goes back to what I was saying. You need strength and depth. You need players. You need to compete properly. I think you need like 2 players for every position really in the Premier League. Especially if you're going to have a crack at trying to win trophies and cups and what have you, because we seem to just sort of capitulate when the other trophies come around, and it's just all about survival, getting a team out to finish 17th in the Premier League. When you lose somebody in a key position and you haven't got the strength and depth, and you can't go like for like replacement. And some of the lesser teams, as I would say, that like Bournemouth and Watford, Huddersfield, and teams like that, they seem to be able to invest and have bigger squads than a team like us, which is nonsensical. It shouldn't happen. We ought to be able to compete with the likes of them in terms of quality of squad and size of the squads. It seems to have just been a matter of penny pinching and trying to just get by and survive, which is not really good enough. And it's little wonder Newcastle supporters complain and moan about the ownership. You know, it's justified.
That Brooklyn bullshit, we on it.
Miggy.
Can't you see? Sometimes your words just
Almiron.
and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken. You're so fake.
Miggy.
Can't you see? Sometimes your words just
Almiron.
and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken. You're so.
Well, that brings us back to a question that we were asking in the last fortnight at Wembley: is it good enough? Because you were at the Spurs game and the Wolves game, and you also had the chance then to see our record signing in action. So can you make comment on the Wolves game and also the cameo that was made by Almiron?
Well, again, like the Spurs game, we seemed to play with good shape, and we controlled, you know, the game for long passages, restricted Wolves to, you know, very few chances, and when they did get through, Dubravka was excellent in goal. He not only was he getting in the way of the few shots that the Wolves had, but he made them stick and he held on to them. You know, it was an excellent goalkeeping performance. He was very unlucky in the end, and from where I was because the place the away fans up the side at Wolves, so we had virtually the whole of one side of the Steve Bulls stand, as they call it there, and I was down by the corner flag, and so they attacked their north bank. The goal looked like a foul on the goalkeeper to me, which was a shame on Dubravka because he played really well in that game. We were robbed, really, in the end. We should have won that game, I think. And everybody again played really well. You know, the squad in general looked calm and composed. Standouts again were Longstaff, absolutely excellent, powerful player, breaking up the play and passing it short and long, and looking really, really confidently, growing into his role. The more he plays, the lad does. Lascelles had an excellent game. He did what he does best. He was winning all the 50-50s and being very, very strong in the tackle. And it was one of the better games I've seen him play as well. It was very pleasing. The Almiron came on to a great welcome by the away support, and they were cheering his name and singing his songs about him straight away from the off, and looked really, really keen and busy and wanting the ball, and not frightened to go looking for it and calling for it. And he had quite a lot of touches in the short time he was on, and he got fouled with one of his early touches, and it looked like I thought, oh dear me, I hope he's not going to get an early injury, but he got up again, and so he showed he was durable, and he looked sharp.
Right.
I thought with the blue kit that we had on, he looked like a shaved Sonic the Hedgehog the way he ran around. So much pace.
Yeah, definitely. He really looked sharp, looked fast and nippy, and he's certainly not shy. He wanted the ball from the off, which is a good sign. A good sign. And the fans took to him straight away and called him his name. And they were in good voice throughout. The fans were actually. In illustrious own, I got on 5 minutes in, was getting his refrain, and then again after 10 minutes, so he was getting his ears burned as well, I think.
Of course, Mike Ashley was surprisingly in attendance, wasn't he?
So I believe he was, yes. Couldn't see him, but I'll say something about I'll say something for Wolves. They've got a hell of an atmosphere at their ground. It's the place was rocking, It was a good atmosphere for. I think the Wolves have probably been a bit like us. They've been, underachieving for a while, and now that they're doing okay, they're getting some good raucous support, and it just shows you what we would be like ourselves in St James's Park if we were 7th in the league and doing well, you know. Forget that.
It's an interesting observation because a team like Wolves have been met with great fanfare on their arrival in the Premier League. So what's the difference between the way Wolves are going about things to the way Newcastle are?
Well, they've certainly invested in their squad. They've spent money, I think, and they've got some quite good internationals they've added to the team, you know, and they're playing an attractive style of football as well, you know. And you know, they're 7th in the league because success they're having, and it's reflected in the atmosphere at their ground as well. I mean, we could be like that every week. Well, St James's Park would be rocking if we'd had good results and we'd be finishing half the league. You know, we've got to put our atmosphere, you know, we'll pack the ground out, but we're watching struggles season after season, aren't you? You know, I think we finished 10th last year, which is probably one of our better finishes in recent years. But really, we want to be up there in the top half every season, and the place would be absolutely reverberating to the rafters. It would if we were getting something good to watch. You know, criminal really. It's a waste of a massive behemoth of a club. Anybody who's wanted to make a success of owning a football club, they would just say Newcastle is just the perfect raw material to kick on and do something successful with. It's waiting for the right ownership to take off. And we all know, the ones who belong and support the club, we know it would be a no-brainer, you know, to somebody who wanted a success, because everything's there, just waiting for the blue touch rate to be lit. The trouble is, with the ownership we have had for the last decade, you know, success hasn't been a priority. It's just been survival and getting the advertisements for the owner's other favourite project to be displayed around the world, you know, to a vehicle for that rather than success on the pitch. If only he would realise that success on the pitch would enhance, you know, his other project as well, if we could invest in it. But I don't think it's a priority for him.
You may have noticed there was an article in the Chronicle that was citing the need for a vision that came out today, a vision for the club, some hope, some ambition, the ability for Rafa to control who he buys, who he sells. And we're a long way from that, it would seem. So I think the key question that's coming around from social media and other platforms is, what's keeping Rafa here?
Well, I can only assume he's a football man. He's got a task in keeping this team in the top flight, which he's probably determined to do at least till the end of his contract. He would like to probably take it on, and you know, to the next level, because he's a top football man. You know, one of the best names in the world for managing football teams, and he's used to excellence and, you know, the best of the best. So if he was given the tools properly to do the job, then I've no doubt he would take us to the top. But he's loved by the fans, and that's probably that's making him honour his contract really at the moment, because he knows he's wanted by the public, and the public at least, you know, recognise that he's making the best of a limited budget. But it remains to be seen, you know, what will happen at the end of the season. We'll have to be given more funds really than spending the little bit of money that we have so far, because the TV money's huge, and we haven't really spent a lot, I don't think.
There seems to be a bit of a black hole, doesn't there, in terms of the question that everyone's asking is where has the money gone? I know that there's been contact with people within Parliament, such as Cian Wura, who's the Newcastle MP, who has been trying to find out that very fact. Where has the money gone? There seems to be a big hole in the finances somewhere. That is linked to the team, isn't it? That's linked to, I guess Rafa is asking that question as well.
I'm sure. You know, he's having to, you can't say run the team on a shoestring, because it's all big money, but I mean, it's absolutely massive, the money that they're getting from these TV contracts now. They're more money than that's ever been seen in football ever before. Some of it needs to be spent on the team that goes out on the pitch.
Okay, everybody, we've come to the end of another successful Outcast podcast from AshleyOut.com and London Magpie Group. We'd just like to express our sincere thanks to Bryn, who attended the games and gave comment on recent events. And also, we'd like to extend our thanks to all of you who have commented, liked, subscribed to this podcast. There's much more to come in future. And further thanks to anyone who engaged with our Valentine's Day content, the cards that were sent out in the mailers, anyone who downloaded the link through there, and also liked or commented on any of our posts made on that with social media. It's all very helpful in terms of getting the message out there, but also putting pressure, however minimal,
on the various negative influences at the club.
If you'd like to get in touch with us further, you can access all our social media channels, such as @LondonMagpies on Twitter and @LondonMagpieGroup on Facebook. And we also have a growing YouTube presence in London Magpie Group, and you can contact us via there at LondonMagpieTube@gmail.com. There's been a recent video added which covers all the things that we've done from the start in 2018 through to now, and hopefully that'll give you an overview, if you haven't already, of what's going on with London Magpie Group and Ashley Out going forward. So do please check that out and keep an eye out for all other content, including further podcasts from the groups. And for now, from me and the group, it's over and Ashley out.